Hello, thanks for coming in. As you probably noticed in the consent form that you filled out, we're planning to record the session, so we'd love to record what we're talking about. Also, the screen and the webcam as well. Would that be okay with you?
Yes.
Okay, before we start, I just want to give you a little bit of information about the session and what to expect. It will last around 30 minutes. Your participation is voluntary, so if you want to get up, leave, take a break at any time, feel free to do so. Also, if you have any questions about the session, feel free to ask me. The purpose of this study is to identify issues with the current design and help us figure out how to improve the site. We're going to give you some scenarios and tasks, then observe how you approach them. If you could explain the reasoning behind what you're doing, that would be very helpful. It's important to behave as you normally would. Just pretend that I'm not here watching and you're doing these activities in your own home in your own time. If you would ever like to be done with a particular activity, just let me know and we can move on to the next step. It's important to remember that we're not testing you, we're testing the website, so please be open and honest about any issues you're running into with the design. I will be observing you and taking notes, but I will probably be quiet most of the time. I might jump in and ask a question or direct you to a different task, so I just wanted to let you know that. Okay, so here's the first scenario I'm going to give you. Say you want to apply for residency using the 12 continuous months of physical presence rule, but you don't want to provide your bank or credit card statements. What documentation do you need to provide to apply for residency?
If I didn't want to provide my bank statements and credential info,
Hmm.
I suppose possibly proof of I don't know, I'd probably start with identification. So driver's license, maybe UVU ID if I'm going for student residency. I'd probably start with that.
Well, it should say on the website somewhere, but you have to try and find it.
Oh, you want me to find it on the
Hmm.
website? Okay, well I'm gonna use the search bar. Um, what was the thing? It was student residency. Student
Yes.
residence. I actually have seen the tab on student residence here before. Okay, let's see. Yes, David. Residence. Yes, house searching. Oh, yes, house searching tab. You can find roommates on here. Wow. Student resources. Let's see. Oh, that's good. There's a question right here. Why doesn't UVU have on-campus dorms? So that's one thing that's already because it says apply for student residence. I think for UVU's website they don't have dorms, right? So they just put you to they poke you to or they point you towards whatever residency is closest to them, which was like Ventana, University Gateway, University Towers, the Green. So I would have to think that yeah, let's do the homeless one. Yeah, I think this is as close as we get here.
Okay.
All right.
Awesome. Um, so if you want to just go back to the
The home.
registration page, or just hit the back arrow, because this is this
Mm.
like page we're testing. Okay. Second scenario. Say you've been approved for federal financial aid student loans. How would you make a request to receive the loan?
Ooh, how would I request using the website? Well, I have received a Pell Grant just this semester, and I went through. If I have to go to the registration services page,
How would
let's.
you normally do it if you weren't using this
If I
page?
wasn't using this page, I would go to just like the main UV website, like not using the registration page, of course, just going
Hmm.
to them because they have like a direct link from that page. I don't see one on the. I don't see one here specifically on the UV registration page. And then I would go through there and I would either request it in form of a check or just let it go through and it would pay for my class. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Scenario number three. Say you got married and you need to change your name with the university. How would you do that?
Good question. Well, I think did I not see a marriage thing? All right. Well, I do see a transcripts tab on the UVU registration thing. I'd probably click that. No, that's not what I thought it was. Never mind. I'll take that back. We would go. What would I do? I don't know. I've never been married before, man. But I do know that when you go to the housing services, there is a marriage section. So I'd probably go through there. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. How would you apply for scholarships at UVU?
Ooh, I do know they have a scholarship, a whole scholarship section with under registration, and they constantly send out emails on Outlook about scholarships. Um, yes, interesting. I'm not actually seeing it on the EVU registration page. Seems like this page is missing some vital components, I would say. But yeah, if I was going through the EVU website, I would go through their registration because it generally seems pretty obvious. And then it gives a list of scholarships you can choose from and descriptions on what they do and how to achieve them. And yeah.
Okay. And then our last question here. Say you were homeschooled and you just completed high school
Mhm.
and you're ready to start a college career and you need to know what to do at UVU. What would you do to apply?
I'd probably go in person and go to their main office area, and I think they'd point me to the advisors, and at which point the advisors could help me out. If I was going to go through the website, I believe the petitions tab might be where I'd go. Actually, it does talk about academic renewal, and that might be able to point me to in the right direction at the very least. Or there we go, enrollment verification form. That might help. I'd probably go through either of those two tabs. So that's definitely on here on the UV registration page. It's good.
All right. Um, that is all of our questions. Thank you for your help with our Think Lab testing. Is there any additional feedback regarding the website that you think would be useful?
Yeah, I don't have any additions that I can make currently. I think it is. However, I would give it a 4 out of 5 just because of how I've used it in the past. So, yeah.
Okay, awesome. Thanks for your help.